I am surrounded by toys and games today. Toys from the 1950s and from the 1960s. And today, I'm going to go over 8 games from the 1960s. And next week, I'll do the 50s. Welcome to Allie Picked. The thing about old toys and games is that they're magical. They're like little time machines that bring us back to a place from our childhood. The older you get, the magical time from our youth becomes more like a dream. We experience it, but the picture is becoming blurry. The details are getting lost in our memory. But when you've got a toy from the past, that childhood picture regains some of that focus. The toy might be tiny, like this little Oscar Mayer whistle. It might be bigger, like the spinning top. Or it might even be a game. This past year, I've been picking up games that I didn't personally play as a child. Now, some of these games I remember seeing, like Bash, but I've never actually played it. Maybe you've played some of these games, and hopefully these will bring back some of those memories for you. Here's a toy that I could not afford as a child. My parents couldn't afford one either. Probably cost like 30 or 40 bucks. This one here is chain driven. I can't fit in it now to give it a try, although I wish I could. So I called my grandson Marshall, who's 9 years old. He's the smallest grandchild I currently have. So, well, here's how that turned out.
Are you pulling me over?
You're speeding.
How am I speeding?
You're going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit.
Yeah, I can get away. Dang.
What do you think?
It's my new Lambo.
Yeah?
Look at the Lambo sign right there.
Too hard to drive?
Just like, I needed some repairs, you know.
Here's a game called Bash from 1965. I like it when you can still read the price tags. This one is half gone, but you can still tell it came from a store called Bargain Town, and there's a 45 on it, so probably $4.50 some cents. Let's open it up and check it out. Bash. Very cool graphics on the outside of the box. Inside is our stackable Bash Man. But instead of me explaining how this game works, let me show you an original TV commercial for this game.
First you take your hammer, then you aim it straight. Hold it tight, swing it right, bash! It's great! Oh, it's bash, 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 brand new Milton Bradley game. Bash, 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 great new Milton Bradley game. Everybody gets a turn to hit 'em where you choose. But if you're too strong or you hit 'em wrong, bash! You lose! First you take your hammer, then you aim it straight. Hold it tight, swing it right, bash! It's great! I like it!
Here's another game from 1965 called Cap the Hat. Never played this one either, but it says it's captivating. How many hats can you capture, and how many can you carry to your castle? Well, let's open it up and check it out. Cap the Hat. For 2 to 4 players. The object of this game is to land on a space occupied by the opponent's hat in order to capture the hat by covering their hat with your own. If you capture a hat, you remove it from play by taking it back to your castle. The winner is the player who has 1 or more hats in play when all the other hats have been captured. Out of all the games I'm going to show you today, this one here is probably the most popular and had the longest lifespan. This one is from 1966. It's called Cootie. Now, if you were a kid and you told somebody that they had the Cooties, that was an insult. It probably came from a game like this, where a Cootie is a bug. Let's open it up. Cootie is for 2 to 4 players. Cootie comes in a box divided in 6 sections. Each section is numbered 1 through 6. Players take turns rolling the dice. Whatever number they roll, they take the corresponding numbered bug part and start assembling their Cootie. You have to roll a 1 or a 2 first in order to get the Cootie head and the body. The first player to complete their Cootie is the winner. You can even buy replacement parts here for 10 or 20 cents, providing you have the ability to go back in time. Here's a game called Concentration. I remember watching this on television.
From Hollywood, the game of puzzles and prizes, Concentration!
This one here is from 1964. I've never played the board game. This one does have the price tag from a store called Weebles. I'm not sure if that was just a Chicago thing or not, but this one here cost a whopping $2.79. Let's see what's inside. This is a perfect example of a game jogging my memory. I didn't even think I played this game before, but when I opened the box, wow, this is familiar. I've played this thing a lot when I was a kid. All of the squares get covered with a number and a picture or yellow card. Players take turns by picking two numbers, revealing the prizes underneath. If they match, the cards are removed. Once enough of the puzzle underneath is visible for a player to figure out what it says, if he guesses correctly, he wins. There's a little more to it than that, but that's the gist. I can barely read the price tag on this. It looks like it came from a store that I remember as a child called Turnstile. They're no longer in business. I can't read the price. But this game here is called Go to the Head of the Class. Must have been fairly popular because this is a new series 15, so there must have been 14 before it. I've never played this. I've never even heard of this game, so let's see what's inside. Go to the Head of the Class is a quiz game in a classroom setting. The object of this game is to move from desk to desk, grade to grade, and by graduating first. Moves are made by answering questions and drawing luck cards. Well, everyone's played Tic-Tac-Toe before. They actually made a game out of it. This one here is Jack and Jill's Tic-Tac-Toe target game from 1964. Well, I'm sure it's played like regular Tic-Tac-Toe with a twist. Let's check it out. This Tic-Tac-Toe game has that old musty cardboard game smell. It has the same rules as Tic-Tac-Toe, only the players have to shoot the ping pong ball into one of the open buckets. Then they place their mark on it. Simple, yet kind of fun. Here's a game from 1960. Now, how do I know these dates? Well, they printed them right on the box, and that's what's cool about the old games too. They had a date on it. This one here, Video Village, based on the popular CBS television program. Well, I don't remember that either, but that's a little before my time. So, let's see what the game's like. Oh, this is cool. Look at this. These are orphaned instructions from another game called Merry Milkman. I never played it, never heard of it, but here's what the game looked like. Video Village. I like the first sentence of the instructions. Anyone can play. Men, women, even children. It says that the game is quite simple, but then they have all of these instructions. There are all kinds of rules, but basically, when a player gets to the finish space, the player who has accumulated the most money is the winner. Now here's another game that I've never heard of. This one is from 1960 called Park and Shop, the shopping game. I have no idea. Let's dig in. Park and Shop, the nation's traffic game sensation. Object of the game, drive your car from your home to the nearest Park and Shop parking lot. Move your pedestrian marker to all the stops on your shopping list, return your car, and then move your car back to the starting point. The first car home is the winner. Out of all these games, this is the only one that I played a couple of weeks ago. We set this thing up, and it was actually a lot of fun. It's called Oh Nuts from 1969. Peek and bluff and have nutty fun as you match the marbles one by one. It's a very well made game by Ideal. Let's open it up. This is a nutty game for 2 to 4 players. The object of the game is to be the first player to get 3 marbles of the same color. You start by putting a marble inside all of the plastic walnuts. Spin the spinner. Each player grabs a walnut and peeks inside. If they match the color on the spinner, they call it out. If it doesn't match, you can bluff. All the other players vote on if they think you're telling the truth or lying. I played this a couple of weeks ago and it's really quite fun and very well made. Well, these are some of my games and toys from the 1960s. If you want to see games from the 1950s, be sure to check back next week. Oh yeah, and you remember Marshall from the beginning of this video? Well, believe it or not, he and his brother have their own YouTube channel, and why don't you show them some love and check out their latest video. I'll have a link right over here. I'm Tom, this is Allie Picked, and thanks for watching.